Hey there, guys. Derek Wilcox here for Team Power Rack Strength, and as always, wearing the finest powerlifting gear on the planet from Inzer Advanced Designs. Now, still in off-season mode right now, but this is my peak intensity week for the 10 rep range on basically everything. And this is a 500-pound squat I'm about to do for 10 reps. And I looked back in my training log not too long ago and saw that this was my goal for 5 reps about a half year ago. So for me to be doing this for 10s or even attempting it shows quite a bit of progress. I'm pretty happy with that. This week didn't actually feel as good as the previous week for some reason. When I unracked my top set from the previous week, which was 455, felt super light on my back and easy out of the rack, moved super well, and this week it actually felt, well, I guess it felt like 500 pounds on my back. Pretty substantial, and my back wasn't handling it quite as well, but powered through it anyway. And I had my wife and Charlie spotting me here, and it got pretty tough towards the end. I mean, I was about as fatigued as I could get. I don't think I could have picked a better number for my peak intensity week. As always, I'm struggling to use any kind of oxygen in my body, trying to finish out this set, but I got it done. And I'll allow you to just check out and see how miserable I was and out of breath. Looking like a real life athlete right there. After that, approximately 3 hours after I recovered from that set of 10, I moved on to stiff leg or Romanian deadlifts. And my peak intensity goal was 4 or 5, and I completed all 3 sets with it. My back was pretty torched from the 500 for 10 before this, but managed to keep everything together. And for whatever reason, these always look much easier on video than they feel like in real life. If you could see my face right here, I'm gritting my teeth and just barely holding it all together. Bench press day for this week was actually kind of a surprise. I don't think I've ever done 10 reps on bench press with more than 275 for just one set. So I started my 3x10 with 275, and as you can see, I'm just blowing right through it. It was super easy. So I went ahead and moved up to 290, which I didn't really think I'd be doing, especially as easy as this set was as well. You can see from my body language there, like everything was a little loosey-goosey for the first half of that set, and still managed to do it really easily. Now 300 for 10 was something I was aiming to do half of about a half year ago. I was trying to do my sets of 5 with 300, and it was really kind of a struggle to get all the sets in anyway. And on this one, I get about 9.6 reps because my shoulders are absolutely crapping out on me hard. For the third set of 10, after 2 harder sets, maybe if I would have started with this, I could have gotten 10 reps for 1, maybe 2 sets. But for the third set, it just wasn't there. That also took quite a while to recover from, as my shoulders were super fatigued. And luckily for my shoulders, the next thing to do was overhead press. But they managed to go pretty well. 145 isn't a monster weight at all, but for the shape that my shoulders are in, I was pretty happy with it. And this was the third set of 10 for overhead press at 145, and it seemed to show that I picked about the right number. The last 2 reps were real tough on me. Now later in the week, I ended up throwing a bit, working on my weights for distance and my hammer winds. Didn't actually throw the hammer because I didn't want to go get it. Just working on the technique for the winds. Right here, I was working on my lightweight for distance technique and still using the hammer counter spins to get started. And I was really working on trying to figure out how to get my hips down and stay in a more squatted position, because that's definitely where the power is in any of these throws. If I land with relatively straight legs when I'm trying to finish one of these throws, I just can't get anything on it. Just like that, It looked like it was a faster throw, but when I land with straighter legs, it just didn't go as far. Same thing with the heavyweight, always trying to figure out a way to get momentum out of the back and then keep my hips down so I can finish real well. And this throw was not advised for anybody because I lost my balance in the middle of it and decided to throw it anyway. Not real smart. Trying a double line with the heavyweight, and that actually worked out pretty good. I threw about 27 feet, I believe, with one of the two turns that I did before that. I actually threw a little over 28. And here are some of the hammer winds that actually felt real good. These movements are all starting to feel a lot more natural for me, and that's very encouraging because the last games I went to, everything felt very alien. But I will leave you with this little guitar ditty that I did during the overhead presses, and I will see you guys next week on a down week. Hopefully something entertaining will happen. But stick around, and I'm sure we'll find out. Have a good one.